What's happening, y'all? Had to start stream over because YouTube doesn't like when I show contact information of prospects in our spreadsheet and whatnot. So I was like, I already know YouTube gonna take this one down. You know what I mean? So I had to. That's why I had to go ahead and start a new one. Anyway, so you already know what's going on today, man. We haven't gotten with the as far as the web agency is concerned, we haven't gotten the two clients to they haven't done what they said they were going to do yet. But I actually still have a lot of. I'm not really concerned about it. I got a lot of faith that they're going to do what they said they're going to do because they want my help, right? Like they want to work with me and whatnot on the web development side of things. Um, so I'm not concerned about it, but just had to point that out. So waiting for them to do that. Those are two projects um, that will generate revenue. Um, and then so that's the web agency side of things. With Trending Neurons, the AI startup, um, we um, basically, it's just like I gotta do some follow up, right? I gotta do some prospecting, um, and that's gonna come in the form of one of them is gonna be a call, right? It's one person I have to follow up with via phone call, and the others are just gonna be LinkedIn messages. But I've kind of run into an issue with LinkedIn because I lost Sales Navigator. I couldn't afford to continue to pay that subscription, right? That's LinkedIn's premium subscription that I use to like be able to get access to their premium features, so I can reach out to more prospects and anyone who's in sales, right? Like they know that Sales Navigator is like a must have. Um, but I don't, like I said, I lost access to it, so it's kind of a problem for me. That's why I'm not able to send out as many LinkedIn messages as I was before. But y'all saw we reached out to Scott Sheridan yesterday. He's a CEO at Tasty Trade. We reached out to Lane Quinn, or followed up with both of them, I should say. He is the head of partnerships at eToro. Neither one of them has responded, so take that for what it's worth or whatever. But that's just kind of where we sit with that. Um, but I don't know if calling either one of them would be more effective than just reaching out on LinkedIn, right? Um, we got Catherine here. So Catherine is a partner at Atlanta Ventures. You can see that it's on her profile, so that's not breaking news, right? You see startup COO turned VC, right? So she's got a lot of experience in starting and scaling startups. Um, and then obviously, you see that she went from doing that to becoming a venture capitalist at Atlanta Ventures. So, um, needless to say, I feel like she can help. She can help us at Training Neurons in terms of, you know, in a lot of different ways. Obviously, if she wanted to, right, she can invest in the company. But it's not even about that right now. Like I don't even think that's the goal. My ask for her would be to help, like her and I need to have a conversation. So I've had a conversation with her before. It's been a few years ago when I had built my app, um, right? And but the conversation nowadays would be a little bit more. I'm a little wiser, than I was a couple years ago. I understand kind of what training neurons, what we need to do. So the conversation I would have with her today, in comparison to the one we had a couple years ago, would be completely different. You know what I mean? So, um, I have tried, or how I feel like she can help us basically with being more or less the face of the company, right? I mean, it's just that's just kind of how this world turns. So, um, I think that having someone like herself be an advisor, if you will, whatever you want to call it. I don't think myself or Victor would care what her title is, so to speak. But I'm sure she has connections and she could help us um, secure our first partnership, right? Um, like for all I know, she could be invested in a in a partner or in one of the companies that we want to partner with. She could have invested in one of those companies, right? So, um, yeah, yeah, that's kind of where we are. Um, so again, like even more so than the money side of things, beyond the money side of things, in other words, her investing in the company, her firm investing in the startup, I think she could help with human resources and with helping us find a way to generate revenue. That's kind of where we are with that. I need to get Sales Navigator back. I do plan to get it back next week. So I don't want to really talk too much more about it because I don't want to seem like I'm making excuses. But when I get Sales Navigator back, I'll be able to reach out to more of these executives, right? More of these prospects on LinkedIn. Um, but right now, I'm a little bit limited without Sales Navigator. Um, so that's kind of where we are with Trending Neurons. And then with the sports agency, you know, we are the only thing that really needs to happen there is just continue to post on socials, right? Kind of what I've been posting on there. Just continue to do that. Uh, and yeah, that's it. Um, and then beyond that too, what this really comes back to is, um, I'm back on the job hunt, man. We're trying to, you know, I'm trying to get back to just, searching for a regular job. We have gotten to the point where I'm at a bit of a crossroads. Uh, we're at a crossroad, I should say, because I've tried to do the full time entrepreneur thing for what, a year or two now, or whatever, or not a year, like a couple years now, really. And it's been like this. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a roller coaster. And right now we're at the you know we're at the valley part, right? We're not at the peak part. We're at the valley part, and it's been that way for a while, a long time, for that matter. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back to the regular job. So I don't really have, like, bro, my time is just crazy. Like, time is just so precious these days, man. I'm going to these networking events. Um, if you've been following the streams, you know what I'm talking. Like, I mean, that means I'm either going to a networking event, like an actual networking event, or that means I am going to Bible study. If you've been following the stream, so I just call them both networking events. I'm usually, like I said, going to one or the other. But that's like uh, that's basically taking up 4 days a week for me right now, and it would be five. I'm not, it's not a bad thing to be at all to be, giving your time to the Lord though. I'm trying to do better. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do what we need to do, but it's just it's such a big it's changed my whole schedule. Like life as I knew it before I started this Bible study course is like it's night and day. Like bro, I literally like I said, bro, it's not a joke. I go to it 4 days a week, and it's downtown, so it's a little hike to get down there with the traffic and everything. So literally from 5:30 onward, right, for basically the rest of the night, 4 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? I got I got Bible study. So um, it's not a complaint. I'm just saying it's like those are 4 nights I used to have where I used to have to myself to do whatever I wanted. Um, so it's a sacrifice, really. I mean, it's how I look at it. That's basically the best way I can put it. It's a sacrifice. I am putting a lot of my time. I basically just say most of my time, really, into Bible study and networking and whatnot these days. So that's what it is. Um, I stopped sharing my screen because I want to look at this contact information that YouTube doesn't like me showing. Contact information and some of the prospects I'm reaching out to. So let me call David Powell. I was supposed to be following up with him yesterday, actually. So here we go, man. Matter of fact, even before I do that, let me pull up the script that I had for. He's a wealth manager, right? Let me pull up the script I have for wealth managers. So it's taking forever for this to come up. Yeah, I know my Mac is old, so it's just everything. It's just lagging. Alright, so it's up now. Let's see. Alright, man. Let me follow up with David. He's a wealth manager at Powell Financial Group, right? That's his last name, Financial Group. Let's see, man. See how this call goes.
This is Dave Powell. Leave a name, number, and a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
So as y'all know, I don't like to leave voicemails. Um, I just feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's 2025. You know what I'm saying? People see when you called them. Um, so yeah. Uh, so anyway, I followed up. Let's see. So I don't know, man. Today is not too much for me to really, for me to really not too much for me to do. I mean, it's always stuff to do, man. But um, like I said, we're waiting on a couple of clients to do their part. Moving forward on these projects for the web agency. With the startup with Trend Neurons, like I'm limited right now. I don't have that many people to follow up with. Uh, I'll follow up with a couple more. You know what I'm saying in just a second. But and I guess I'll just do that via call. I don't have too many more people to follow up with through LinkedIn. Um, so yeah, man. I'm looking at some of the messages right now. I'll share this again right now. So, right, like you know, right here he's head of partnerships at Webull. We followed up. We sent him a few messages, right? He hasn't responded. Um, I've reached out to this guy. He's over at Coinbase. He hasn't responded. This is the COO at TrendSpider. We've messaged him a few times. He hasn't responded. Um, yeah, we followed up with him. A couple messages, right? He hasn't responded. Um, we can follow back up with Jordan, right? But we're trying to get him to introduce us to one of his coworkers over at SoFi. But you can see, obviously, he hasn't responded. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, this guy hasn't responded. But not necessarily having. I'm not really having. I don't expect him to have responded already, but whatever. And then same thing with Scott. Right, he reached out to me yesterday. He still hasn't responded. So like, I mean, I can't. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, I can't make somebody respond. But that's the thing about sales. Like, I feel like I do my part. Um, but this first deal that we closed with Turner Neurons, I think it's becoming more and more clear to me. I'm gonna stop sharing that. I don't really have anything else to share on my screen. Um, you know, yeah, my developer still hasn't responded for sending me an offer, basically send me an invoice for him to build a new site for me. and then I just hit my designer um, because he asked me, we wanted to confirm what he was trying to design. So, he hasn't, I just hit him back. So, but like, I don't really got anything else to share right now. But one thing's becoming pretty clear to me, bro, with the startup, man, with Trinity Neurons, is that whatever deal we cut, right, whoever we cut a deal with, whatever, whether it's a wealth manager, a fintech company, um, hedge fund, whoever it is, right, it doesn't matter. It's going to more than likely have to come through a mutual connection, right? They aren't hearing what I have to say right now. They aren't. They aren't hearing it. Um, and that's what I was saying with, or that's the point I was making earlier when I was saying, we need to try to partner with, with Catherine. Um, they'll probably listen to what she has to say, but they don't want to hear. They don't want to listen to what I have to say. And I'm sure she has a lot more connections than I do. You know what I mean? So, um, matter of fact, hold on, man. Let me. She's on LinkedIn so much though. I don't really want to go on her profile just yet, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Uh, so I'm just curious right now who all she is. Mm, I know I'm not sharing my screen, but I'm gonna go to their website though. I want to go to see. Go to the website of Atlanta Ventures. I want to see like if she has like listed out what companies she's invested in. Like a lot of times VC firms do that, right? I don't know if they do that all the time, but I guess like they're more successful ones. I think they put those, they want those to be front and center, right? So let's see what we got here. So this is the website of her firm. So if we go to about, say our story. Yeah, I'm lagging, I'm lagging, I'm lagging, I'm lagging. But we got David here. You know what I mean? He's partner and founder. And we got these other partners here, right? You got David, AT, and John, and then you got Catherine, right? So, what portfolio company? Hmm. So these are their portfolio companies. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So, um, that's dope though. Exited, exited, exited. You know what I'm saying? Exited. They not playing. It's a great skill. Maybe I'll apply for one of these companies or whatever. Um, so the reason I'm not like, because like I said before, I really just need to be applying for jobs and stuff right now. That's kind of um, the number one should be a number one goal and number one focus. Um, but I know I don't have that much time before I have to dip, so I don't want to get really into it. You know what I'm saying? Really, I don't really want to get down to the nitty gritty in terms of applying for different jobs and shit. Like, and then I'm gonna have to leave in like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get too deep into that those tasks. You know what I'm saying? Before I'm have to stop in the middle of doing it. So I just need to do it when I get back. Um, so yeah. Okay. But where? Let me see. Yeah, portfolio. I mean, I guess that was portfolio down there, but yeah. Details. What is this? Motion first marketing. Okay. Yeah, we gotta get to what they invested in Calendly. Wow, that's dope. They partnered with Calendly when it was getting off the ground. That's dope. They gotta be doing really well just from this one investment. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't see any other. I thought what was Grayscale again? I feel like I heard of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I lied. I don't think I heard of it. Um, this is in 2012. Wow. Sales. I feel like I've heard of this. Wow, they are not playing. This is dope. And there's a mighty team, small but mighty team of just 8. You know. My thing is, when do you bring the VC into the conversation? When do you first talk to them? Right? Maybe that's something. I'm gonna call Philip about that. Let's see. Or I'll just text him because you know. this again? But yeah, I mean, let me just read through this. So, mm, yeah, I mean, I think, and I know this. I think I already know the answer to this question, but like when it comes to seeking investment from, a VC, they want to see that you have that traction, man. They really do. They want to see you have that traction, right? Like this is literally at the top of the. See, have greater than 10 unaffiliated, passionate, paying customers. Let's talk, right? That's the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what this is about. If we don't, like, obviously right now we don't have any customers, right? We don't have any customers. So, and I just know even from my own experience, VCs don't want to talk to you until you have paying customers. Period. But at the same time, I don't know what it's going to take for us to, like, I don't know when we're going to be able to get those paying customers unless we have someone with the right connections like Catherine, right? I think she could help us find the first paying customer, right? And it's just that's just the what you deal with. It's the type of problem you deal with as a black founder. You know what I'm saying? I hate to put it that way, but I don't hate to put it that way because it's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? What we've been able to build is extraordinary, right? It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody that's willing to pay for it, but it has been this hard trying to find somebody willing to pay for it. So, um, but again, I feel like if we had, Catherine backing us, right, a VC backing us, um, we could get there a lot faster. Start sharing my screen for a second. But it's light as that. Well, it's not. It's a little cloudy outside, but you would think it's about to be dark outside, you know, with the wave. But I guess, it'd be like that sometimes. Um, probably need to follow up with David. Matter of fact, too, is David still have that same weak ass site that he got? Let me see something. Yeah, he does. I kind of figured it. No, he changed it. Yeah, he updated it. Damn it! I was hoping that he would let us uh, build a site for him, but at the same time, he did it himself last time. So I told, and just for the record, I told him, his site wasn't good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So me saying that his site is weak as hell is not news to him. Like, he already knew that. Um, I know I'm not sharing my screen, but I'm just, like I said, on his website. Yeah, I mean, he's already went and updated it. I remember he said he was thinking about wanting to update his website, uh, around this time or whatever, later in 2025, and so he's already done it. Um, And then, so if I go back, let me go back to this real quick. I'll show my screen. Let me see the last time I talked to David. It's about that time to follow up with him, see what we can make happen. It was exactly 2 weeks ago, so it ain't been that much time though. I mean, 2 weeks is a minute, but I'll give it a little more time. Remind me to follow up with David Shamash on November 13th at 2 p.m. Let me go in here real quick and see if um, go on Eventbrite real quick and see if there's any events I can sign up for that are specifically at wherever I think Catherine will be. I mean, I can reach out to her on LinkedIn and just ask her if she's gonna be there or whatever. But yeah. Let me share my screen again. And I'm broke, so I can't afford to pay to go to any networking events on Eventbrite that I find on Eventbrite. But I'm going to if I see any free ones, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up for those. So let's see. I remember there was one that was at Atlantic Village that was free. I think it was like the Startup Chowdown or something like that. So, and I doubt they're gonna have too many more of those since the year is winding down. Really after Halloween, I feel like most companies damn near take the rest of the year off really. So and it's probably the last real work week. I'm not gonna lie, that happens. Um, let's do on event right. Let's see, we got yeah, free. Let's just do it this way actually. Let's be a bit smarter. Anything with a non-tech village. So, so got another startup shout out on Tuesday at 12:30. And then for $12. Okay, I'll have to just keep that in mind basically. So we'll sign up for some events a little later. I say a little later. We can't really. If it ain't free, then I can't sign up for it right now. Like I said, when I say I'm broke, I mean it. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real talk, bro. So um, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do some things I need to do um, within the next 24 hours, so I can go ahead and sign up for at least a few of these events. But that's where we are right now. Can't sign up right now if it costs money. The purchase essential miles. Mm, 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 mm. All right, y'all. So I know I ain't gonna lie, today just wasn't really productive, bro. We didn't do much anything today. Um, just had to call a spade a spade. But so they pay those invoices for we'll have more to do on the web development side of things. And yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's where we are. What was I about to say? I could make a couple calls. I need to. I said this yesterday. I need to call Rebecca. I need her to help me figure out what's the best thing to get leads for my agency um, without doing ads. I don't want to get leads through ads. I want to do it in an organic way. I want to get her thoughts on how to go about getting those leads. Uh, Again, without paying for ads. Right? I said this yesterday. If we could get leads from my web design agency, um, we would be good, bro. Like that alone could be a full time income for me. But we just, you know what I'm saying? She just hasn't gone that way up to now. So, um, but the profit margin is so high for that business that's like, bro, if we could just build, if we were building one or two websites a month, like, you know what I'm saying, we'd be good. So that's where we are. That's where we are, man. Um, I will no excuses tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday too. I don't have. Yes, I do. So I'm going. I got a date tomorrow. I got networking event tomorrow before the date. So from once again from 5:30, about 5:30 to onward, like for the rest of the night, I'll be busy. Um, I'm trying to think before then. I don't know. I think I have too much other stuff to do. But anyway, I'm gonna have days like this where we're not as productive. It is what it is. Um, I'm still, like I said, getting used to like having, going to Bible study and these networking events 3-4 times a week. I'm still getting used to that. You know what I mean? So, but we gotta get used to it. We gotta get right faster. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting right fast enough. So, um, trying to see what I'm trying to say. Make sure I don't forget nothing. Um, oh yeah, I can do that real quick. So let me do that real quick. Actually, I am gonna do that because I got let me try calling my lawyer back one more time. Maybe she'll answer this time. We've been playing phone tag. Um, I would call Rebecca right now if I wasn't about to head to um this networking event. It's just like if I call her, I never call her and then just like it's never a quick conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta do something. I gotta do something else before I head to the event. So we need to touch base with Victor too. I'm gonna talk to him in a minute. Um, so